Welcome to the MindTalk podcast, where we delve into the roots of dis-ease growing deep in the subconscious mind. I am your host, Diane Vanas, with 25 years in energy medicine. Today, we will be doing a belief decoding session with a client. Baron, it's good to work with you again. So I see that you would still like to address some of the childhood issues so that you're not being triggered in the present and having to relive them, and probably inherited things as well. So let's get started and see what we find out. I see that you're working on a parallel system, so that would be two trees growing side by side if we compare a belief system to a tree. And one of them is inherited. So let's get started in the tree that we could call yours, tree number 1. And we're working in the negative programs, similar to the leaves and branches, the more conscious part. We are in the third eye chakra, or insight, something about a defect that you perceive about yourself. And it's, I am a liar. Yeah, that's pretty strong. So I don't know if that's from childhood. You know, we used to say liar, liar to each other, or call people liars. Or you felt you made up things, so you knew you were a liar. But anyway, it's a negative, so we want to get rid of it. We're also now in the root chakra, in sabotage. And it's, I can't believe it. So I don't know if it's some story you told that you couldn't even believe yourself. We'll see what as this unfolds. Sometimes it reveals kind of like a little story. So let's drop down to the limiting beliefs. That would be the trunk of the tree. And we're in the throat chakra, related to communication or expression. When I speak up, nobody listens. So then we have also the third eye chakra, something related to pain. I have to hurt. And now we're going to drop down to the faulty core belief. That would be like the roots of the tree. And this is in the throat chakra. This one is actually inherited. So from your father, and he got it from his mother. Does it go back further? Yes, 6 generations, starting with a woman. And it's, I am afraid to know myself. So you inherited that belief, and it became part of your belief system. I am afraid to know myself. It's kind of like the seed or the root for the whole tree. And you also have a soil with this system. So remember, those are faulty core identities, usually created between the age of 0 to 7. We have something in the sacral chakra related to trust. No one will ever trust me again. So I don't know what you did between 0 and 7, but you got the belief that no one was going to ever trust you again. And then you added an inherited belief to that. I am afraid to know myself. And then I have to hurt. When I speak up, nobody listens. I can't believe it. I am a liar. So that's quite a system there. Be glad to get rid of that. Let's see what the second tree holds. Now remember, this is an inherited one, and this is also from your father. Did he get it from somewhere? Yes, he got it from his mother, so your grandmother. And we're going to start out in the heart chakra, related to family. I can't trust my family. And now we'll be in the power chakra, or we call it the solar plexus chakra, related to expectation. Life is hopeless. Wow. And then we go down to the trunk of the tree. So these are the limiting beliefs. We're in the power chakra again. Expectation, it's I should have known better. And another limiting belief in the third eye chakra related to boundaries. I have no boundaries. Dropping down to the root of the inherited tree, we're in the throat chakra. Something related to ego. I don't care about others. And then there's actually a soil for this inherited tree, and it's in the sacral chakra. I feel dead. So wow, you inherited a really, that's a terrible tree to inherit. So let's see how that reads from the bottom up. I feel dead. I don't care about others. I have no boundaries. I should have known better. Life is hopeless. I can't trust my family. So your grandmother, I don't know what was going on with her life, but it was pretty bad. So won't it be good to get rid of these? So let's see if there's anything feeding and watering these two trees. So we have some emotions. We have a shared emotion, which means more than you experienced the emotion at the same time, and it's grief. So let's go ahead and release shared grief. Did we release that? Yes. Okay, and now we also have an inherited emotion of disgust from your mother's side. Let's go ahead and release inherited disgust. We have rejection. I'm going to go ahead and release it. And we have effort unreceived. Let's release that. And we have confusion. Let's go ahead and release confusion. And then we have some imbalances. So we have a physical emotional shock, and it's related to an emotion of rejection. So let's go ahead and clear that rejection and that physical emotional shock. Now we have some reverberation for an organ. It's the thyroid, and it's got an emotion of sadness. So let's release the sadness and reset and balance the thyroid. I know you mentioned you had your tonsils out when you were a child, so that's kind of nearby there. You were in the hospital, and it was a very scary experience for you as a child to be in the hospital. So maybe it's something from around that time. Anyway, let's go ahead now, and I'm going to pause the recording, and we're going to release the whole parallel belief system, both yours and the inherited, and then we'll come back on and we'll see if we need to install anything positive. Okay, Baron, how does that feel? That was a lot of negative beliefs. Quite a tree, really, that you inherited, and then you built that one right next to it that's similar. So we're going to intend to defrag the subconscious gap, but we're also going to add a positive statement. I allow myself to be a good person. So a lot of those beliefs were like, not being trustworthy and don't know yourself and things like that. So this is, I allow myself to be a good person. So we're just going to install that positive belief, and you can also do it as an affirmation. Okay, thank you. It's a fascinating session today.